Hello, and welcome back to A Real Horror Show. So, as you all know, this week, the ghost with the most, Beetlejuice, returned to the big screen in the much anticipated and long awaited sequel to Tim Burton's much beloved 80s classic. And first thing that I've got to say is, I really enjoyed this new movie and I had an absolute blast watching it. I couldn't possibly sum up all my thoughts and feelings on this new movie in this video without giving an entire review. But I will say, besides having a few flaws here and there, the movie did not disappoint at all. It felt like a very fitting sequel to the original, both stylistically and in its dark humoured tone. And it was of course an absolute pleasure to see Michael Keaton return to that iconic role. Same goes for Winona Ryder and the brilliant Catherine O'Hara too. The practical effects were also marvellous, and absolutely imperative when revisiting the world that Tim Burton created back in 1988. Overall, Beetlejuice Beetlejuice was a bloody good time. Oh, and I've got to mention the greatest highlight from the film, Bob. I f***ing love Bob. Anyway, let's get back on track with today's video, as I've got a lot of new and exciting announcements for you guys from none other than Neca Toys. As this week the company announced a whole bunch of new collectibles to coincide with the release of the new movie. And not only are we receiving some new figures and Headknockers, but also a prop replica. Before we begin, if you're new to this channel and you love all things horror and horror collecting, please consider slashing that subscribe button, as this is definitely the place for you. Also, don't forget to drop a like on this video as it helps me out tremendously, and let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. I'd love to hear your opinions on the new movie. Also, I just want to say that some of these collectibles we'll be taking a look at may include some light spoilers for the movie, so I just want to put that warning out there for you guys who haven't seen this movie just yet. Now without further ado,
it's showtime.
And the first newly announced Beetlejuice figures coming our way from Neca are a couple of Headknockers based on the new movie, including one of 𝙆𝙆𝙎𝙃 in her red wedding dress as seen in the climax of the film, which may be a bit too similar to the finale of the original movie. But anyway, this Headknocker, although quite stylized, displays a great likeness to Winona Ryder and features some really good sculpting work, especially when it comes to the detailing on her bridal gown. Lydia is made of resin and is also stood on a checkerboard base. In addition to Lydia, we're also getting a Headknocker of the little terror toddler, that is baby Beetlejuice. Yep, baby Beetlejuice. We got baby Yoda, then we got baby Stay Puft, and now we've got baby Beetlejuice. And this little creep is beautifully sculpted from head to toe. There is no shortage in details within Neca's sculpting work here, particularly in the face, which has an absolutely demented facial expression, and also that crazy hairdo. The little guy also comes on the same checkerboard display base as Lydia, and is also splattered in blood. Both figures are made from resin and come in boxes that display a Beetlejuice bio-exorcism advertisement. Although Headknockers aren't really my thing, both of these guys look really cool overall. But now it's time to get to some action figures, and we'll start off with these double figure packs of Astrid and 𝙆𝙆𝙎𝙃, and Beetlejuice and Dolores that are joining the Toony Terror line. Although I don't personally collect the Toony Terrors line myself, mainly because I'm not the biggest fan of the whole stylized figure sort of thing, I actually really like this figure line, and I think some of the Toony Terror releases look outstanding, especially the ones that manage to capture the likeness of a character and translate it perfectly into that Hanna-Barbera animation style. However, that cannot exactly be said for these figures of Astrid and Lydia. At least in my own personal opinion, I don't think these characters translate particularly well to that Toony Terror style. Beetlejuice and Dolores look great however, and I think this may be because they are already somewhat stylized in their design with very definable features and characteristics. When looking at Astrid and Lydia, Astrid doesn't really look all that stylized and like a Toony Terror to me. This just looks like a figure of Jenna Ortega, and to give credit where credit's due, the likeness to Jenna Ortega is spot on there. But the same cannot be said for Winona Ryder, as this sculpt is more reminiscent of Liza Minnelli to me.
Okay,
But when looking at Beetlejuice and Dolores, these guys translate really well to the Toony Terrors style and overall look pretty great. I particularly like the expression they've gone with for Beetlejuice, as it really brings out the personality of the character. Each Toony Terror stands about 6 inches tall, and both of these figure packs will be releasing in window box packaging sometime in January 2025. And the figure packs don't end there, as Neca are bringing us a series of Afterlife figure packs, all of which come with a set set of 3 individual figures that stand at around 3 inches tall. These figure packs depict various characters from the iconic Afterlife waiting room and immigration hall. The first set includes figures of Santa, an escape artist, and 𝙎𝙬𝙎𝙎𝙎. Again, I really hope you guys watched the movie before this video, but I did the spoiler warning, so it's not on me. The Santa and escape artist figures look great and are gruesomely detailed. And as for 𝙎𝙎𝙎, I'm surprised how much this sculpt looks like Catherine O'Hara, considering that these figures are only 3 inches tall. Neca have managed to do an excellent job with the sculpt while working in such a small scale. All 3 figures are depicted sitting in the chairs of the infamous waiting room. And included in the second pack, we have figures of a spaceman, cat lady, and hot dog eating contest winner. First of all, I love the design and the concepts of these guys, and I think they're a perfect visual representation of the twisted humour within the world of Beetlejuice. They're also once again very rich in detail for their scale and would look great taking their place in a Beetlejuice diorama display. And finally, we've got the Immigration Hall pack featuring figures of Richard, an immigration officer, and Anaconda Man, who looks a hell of a lot like Uncle Fester to me. Once again, these figures look really good considering the small scale, and the immigration officer in particular has very detailed sculpting, and I also really like the paint applications on the Anaconda itself. Each of these figure packs don't yet have a release date, but will all be coming in similar Beetlejuice striped collector-friendly window box packaging. That was a mouthful. Now, if some of you guys out there are Neca nerds like myself, I'm sure this announcement may have reminded you of the old school Beetlejuice couch scene diorama and figurine packs that the company released all the way back in 2001. And these collectibles are actually some of the very first the company ever produced, along with figures of Beetlejuice himself, the Maitlands, and various other characters from the original movie. So next up we have what is by far the biggest announcement from Neca in terms of the new Beetlejuice movie, and it's actually a prop replica. And it's none other than this 1:1 scale, life-size replica of baby Beetlejuice. And this little guy looks amazing. And it's practically identical to the actual screen used prop that you see in the movie. This creepy kid features 5 points of articulation, a weighted body, and tailored clothing. The hair is also rooted to the head and looks phenomenal on these promo pictures. But a really cool detail that Neca have included with this replica is the ability to move his eyes around into any pose that you want. The prop is 14 inches tall when sitting down and 19 inches tall when standing up, so it's quite a large display piece. The paint application on this guy also looks magnificent, and overall this will make for an unreal display within any Beetlejuice collection. It's always exciting when companies produce a proper replica or life-size piece, as these collectibles are just on a whole other level. He's expected to start shipping sometime in the coming month and will be coming in a collector-friendly window box, which I'm quite excited to see the design of. He's retailing for $129, which seems like a really great price considering this is a large scale prop. So if you're after a new addition to your collection family, the life-size baby Beetlejuice is now up for pre-order on the Neca website. And before we take a look at the final Beetlejuice announcement made by Neca this week, I just want to take a quick look at an update the company posted for the 18-inch talking Beetlejuice figure based on his appearance in the original 1988 movie. I talked about this guy and other upcoming Beetlejuice figures in more detail in a previous video, so if you haven't seen it, I recommend checking that out. But Neca have finally revealed the packaging for this collectible, and it looks fantastic. It complements the figure really well, and I love the colour scheme that they've gone with, as it just screams Beetlejuice. The interior of the box design seems to be inspired by the hallways in the afterlife, with the angular corridors and checkerboard patterns, and the sandworm that snakes around the box is also a wonderful touch. And this guy is expected to start shipping sometime in November. So it's time to look at the last Beetlejuice announcement from Neca Toys, and it's the one that I think horror collectors and action figure enthusiasts will be looking forward to the most. And if you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to slash that subscribe button if you're a horror fanatic and you'd love to see more content just like this. So the final Neca Beetlejuice collectible we'll be receiving so far is this incredible Ultimate Beetlejuice, the Bio-Exorcist tour guide figure based on his initial appearance from the original Tim Burton classic. It's finally happening. We're getting an Ultimate Beetlejuice, and I'm really hoping that this is just the first of a whole bunch of Ultimate figures that we'll be getting for the Ghost of the Most. The first thing I want to say about this figure is just how spot on the likeness is in the face sculpts to Michael Keaton. Neca have captured his character and expression perfectly with this figure, and the sculpting and paint application is just top notch. The body and outfit of the figure is also extremely well sculpted and detailed, and to top it off, he comes with a whole bunch of accessories, including an afterlife newspaper, a dead rat, a lantern, and Beetlejuice advertisement flyers. On top of this, Beetlejuice will come with a total of 4 different head sculpts, 3 sets of hands to recreate different poses from the film and display him holding the included accessories, and his tour guide hat. I think Neca have absolutely hit it out of the park with this guy, and this is a definite must-have for the horror collection. I'm also excited to see how the ultimate box packaging turns out for this figure, and overall, I can't wait to add him to the collection. Like I said, I really hope this is the first of a whole line of Ultimate Beetlejuice figures, as an Ultimate Beetlejuice in his iconic black and white striped suit with an interchangeable carousel head sculpt and hammer arms, recreating his look from the original film's finale, would be absolutely insane. An ultimate figure of him in the new sequel would also be a fantastic addition. There's so much that can be done with this character, and I really hope this isn't the last of the Beetlejuice collectibles coming our way from Neca. Ultimate Beetlejuice is expected to be releasing sometime in January 2025. But one question remains: where are all the Bob figures? Come on Neca, you could at least give us an ultimate Bob for our collections. So that concludes today's video. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of these new announcements and upcoming Beetlejuice figures coming our way from Neca, and tell me which ones you're planning to add to your own horror collection. Don't forget to let me know your thoughts and feelings on the new Beetlejuice movie as well. I hope you're all having a great week, and until next time guys, take care.